Today we're going to be talking about randomized block designs.
So a randomized block design allows us to control for nuisance factors. A nuisance factor would be something that can contribute to the skew of the data, but isn't necessarily what's being tested for. You can control for nuisance factors by grouping your samples into certain categories based on the nuisance factors. So say you're working at a wastewater treatment plant and you had to test the accuracy of two different types of sensors that came out. And at your plant, you have four different tanks. The first one receives influent from a landfill. The second one receives regular municipal wastewater. The third one is from restaurants, and the fourth one is from a chemical treatment plant. If you were to use regular or random assignment and assign the sensors to all four of the tanks at once, randomly, you could end up with the majority of your type 2 sensors in tank 1 and 2, and the majority of your type 1 sensors in tank 3 and 4. And what this would mean for your experiment, say potentially in tank 4, the water from the chemical treatment plant is corrosive and causes the sensors to be totally inaccurate. Your data would show that the first sensor wasn't as accurate as the second sensor just because you have all these inaccurate readings from tank 4. So you can group your experiment and you can assign the same number of sensors to tanks 1, 2, 3, and 4 for each type of sensor. So say 20 sensors, 20 type 1 sensors in tank 1, 20 type 2 sensors in tank 1, and the same for tank 2, same for tank 3, and same for tank 4. This way you know that your data won't be skewed based on which tank you put your sensors in. In this example, it may seem like common sense, but there are less intuitive examples. By adding in the grouping factor, we lose a degree of freedom, meaning that for an experiment where you can only take a small number of samples, a randomized block design could be detrimental. But for the average experiment, it can be a useful tool in helping ensure the reliability of the results of your data.